Today, I'll show you how I made this cool glow-in-the-dark Santa tray. This is the tray I chose to use. I'm using 1-to-1 epoxy resin and as a personal preference, I start with B and follow up with A. I set my timer for 5 minutes and I begin to stir. And I will continue to stir past 5 minutes if I look down and see any swirls. Now I'm adding my homemade glitter mix to the epoxy resin. Now I add 1 drop of this clear glue to my resin mixture. This will help the chunky glitter to not float so much. Now I stir until this mixture gets a little slimy. Now it's time to add my mixture to the tray. Let's speed this process up a little. I push the corners down to ensure that the resin mixture gets all the way in the corners and also to push out any air bubbles. Once I'm satisfied with how it looks, I leave it alone so it can cure. Now I'm going to mix some more 1-to-1 epoxy resin. Once again, I set my timer and stir until I see no swirls. Now I add my glow powder and stir until it's all mixed in. Now I add some white pigment paste. Once again, I stir until it's all mixed in. Now I pour my mixture in. This time I'm going to fill the mold up completely. I push down on the corners where the new resin meets the glitter to push bubbles up. I also take this popsicle stick and I go around the brim to push bubbles up to the surface. Let's speed this up a bit. Now I use 91% isopropyl alcohol to pop any bubbles. I continue to check for bubbles on and off for the first hour and then I leave it to set. Now it's time to demold the tray. This process is a doozy, especially with these corners, so let's speed this up. I finally got it all loosened up and now it's time to take it out the mold. Adding the school glue allowed the glitter to sink to the bottom of the mold versus floating. If I didn't add the school glue, it would have floated and then the glitter would have connected to the white part. Now, I'm going to convert this tray into a Santa tray. I made this design in Silhouette Studio and I printed it out on clear inkjet vinyl sticker paper. Now I'm going to trim it so it fits inside the mold. Now I start to remove the backing and slowly spread it across the mold. I'm going to take my time when I spread it to eliminate as many bubbles as possible. Now I start looking for bubbles, and as I find them, I pop them with my pen tool. Now I'm going to pour some epoxy resin to seal in the vinyl sticker. I tilt the tray so I can spread the resin evenly throughout the inside of the tray. Now it's time to pop those bubbles. Now I give the tray a little charge to see the glow. All the lights are now turned off in my office, and I'm going to give it a little bit more charge with this UV light. This glow is amazing, but just imagine if I let it sit under natural sunlight versus using this UV light. The glow is supposed to last up to 6 hours. That would be totally cool. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, and subscribe to see more.